Friends, we are extremely fortunate to have Her Ladyship Justice Revati Mohite Dere in our midst this morning to inaugurate this mediation training program for advocates as trained mediators. On behalf of Bar Council of Maharashtra and Goa, in association with Main Mediation Center, Bombay High Court. As we all know that judges have been trained as mediators, we gave a thought in our full house meeting in the Bar Council that advocates who are having practiced more than 10 years should also be trained as mediator in order to reduce the large volume of cases and the pendency of cases. It is in this background that we signed a MOU with the Main Mediation Center, Bombay High Court, and we were also guided by the Mediation and Conciliation Project Committee of the Supreme Court of India. And accordingly, we have decided to design this mediation training program for 25 advocates from each division. Today, we are having the inauguration function for the 25 participants from the Pune division, which comprises of 5 districts, Pune, Satara, Sangli, Solapur and Kolhapur. All these advocates will have training for 40 hours, that is for 5 continuous days, and the trained mediators would be giving them training. With this, we would now begin with the inauguration function. Normally, we start a function by lighting the lamp, the traditional lamp. But as per the direction of Malsa, today the inauguration would be by watering of the plant at the hands of the honorable guests. I request Her Ladyship Justice Revati Mohite Dere, along with all the other dignitaries, Justice Doctor and Justice Jamdar, to kindly water the plant. Honorable Chairman of the Bar Council of Maharashtra would also accompany them. Now we will proceed with the presentation. On behalf of Malsa, sapling would be presented. I request Honorable Principal District and Session Judge to present sapling to Her Ladyship Justice Revati Mohite Dere. I request Shri Ajit Yadav, District Judge, to present sapling to His Lordship Justice Madhav Jamdar. I request District Judge Milind S to present sapling to His Lordship Justice A.S. Doctor. On behalf of Bar Council of Maharashtra and Goa, I request Honorable Chairman Shri Milind Thobde to present a bouquet and memento to Her Ladyship Justice Revati Mohite Dere. I request the Honorable Vice Chairman Shri Vivekanand Ghatge. Shri Vivekanand Ghatge would present bouquet and memento to His Lordship Justice Madhav Jamdar. I now request Advocate A.U. Pathan, Member Bar Council of Maharashtra and Goa, to present memento and bouquet to Justice A.S. Doctor. I now request Advocate Rajendra Umap to present memento and bouquet to PDJ Shri Chandak Sahib. I now request Shri Uday Varunjikar to present memento and bouquet to Shri Prathamesh Popat. I request Shri A.U. Pathan to present memento and bouquet to Shri Mahesh Jadhav. I now request Shri Rajendra Umap to present memento and bouquet to Shri Abhijit Nangaonkar. It is well said that mediation is not settlement, but mediation would lead to settlement. With this, I request the Honorable Chairman of the Bar Council of Maharashtra and Goa, Shri Milind Thobde, to give his welcome and introductory speech.
Honorable Justice Revati Dere Mohite Madam, Judge, Bombay High Court. Honorable Justice Shri Madhav Zamadar, Sir, Judge, Bombay High Court. Honorable Shri Justice A.S. Doctor, Sir, Judge, Bombay High Court. Honorable Shri Shyam, Chandak, Sir, Principal District Judge, Pune. Honorable Vice Chairman, Shri Vivekanand Ghatge, Bar Council, Maharashtra and Goa. My colleagues in the Bar Council, Senior Member, Shri Pathan, Shri Harshad V, Shri Rajendra Ji Umap, Shri Uday Ji Varunjikar. President of Pune Bar Association, Shri Thobde, Sir. The trainers, Senior trainers, Shri Prathamesh G Popat, Sir, Shri Mahesh Ji Jadhav, Sir, Shri Abhijit Ji Nangaonkar, Sir, Ajit Yadav, the Deputy Registrar, Malsa, Shri Todkar, Sir, the Deputy Secretary, all the participants who have gathered here for this training program, all members of Pune Bar Association, ladies and gentlemen. When the program was set to have a 5 days training program, region-wise, because in Maharashtra we have 6 regions, revenue regions. The first of its kind program was decided to be held in Pune. And when we discussed with the Malsa team regarding how to conduct the training program and all, we the bar councillors were of the opinion that let us have an inaugural function of the said training program. The Malsa team was rather reluctant because they were worried that each day's 8 hours training they have to cope up. However, it was our insistence that if the trainers hear the guidance of the lordships, because it is 5 days, 8 hours, 40 hours training program, rather a rigorous training program. And after hearing the guidance from Honorable Lordships, they will gain a confidence to cope up with all this program, and therefore we insisted. And accordingly, when we went to Honorable Lordship to invite them for this program, I am proud to announce that as soon as we invited all the Lordships, within a minute they accepted our invitation, and here they are with us. The concept of mediation, as we all know, there is a saying in Marathi की शाण्याने कोर्टाची पायरी चढू नये. This is a general trend amongst the people at all over. We always have some programs wherein we try to gain confidence of the people at large that whatever justice you want to get, you will get in a court of law only. And the common man also has a faith in judiciary. However, the only worried thing is that the common man is under the conception or under the fear that if I file a suit, I may not get a justice, but my grandson might get a justice. So the delayed things, they are worrying the common man. And therefore, there was a concept of alternative dispute resolution. Earlier, it was voluntary. However, now the legislature thought it fit that if at all it is made compulsory, then the litigation, the number of work pending before the court of law, and the expectations of people at large to get speedy justice might get some result. And therefore, an amendment to section 89 CPC is sought to be made by the legislature, wherein now it will be a compulsory in every suit, every litigation, to refer the matter to mediation. But dear friends, if this happens, then the number of litigation, if we go as per the number, let us take example of Maharashtra. I heard that around 25 to 30 lakhs of litigations are pending in Maharashtra, so far as civil side is concerned. Nation-wise number gets larger than this. So if in all such matters, every matter is referred to a mediation, then where are the mediators? How to handle those situations when each and every matter will be referred to mediator? And therefore, there was a need to call upon the advocates, to call upon the persons from the society to join for this mediation campaign. And if advocates who have an experience of at least 10 years, they come forward, and if they are trained, then the major problem might get solved. And therefore, when Malsa proposed this idea to the Bar Council of Maharashtra and Goa, we readily accepted it. And here, how we are going to initiate this training program. I am proud to announce, Lordship, that Bar Council of Maharashtra and Goa, who has always taken care to see the welfare of advocates, is the first bar council in the nation to join hands with Malsa for such mediation training program. Dear friends, here in this mediation training program, there are senior mediation trainers who are ready to give up time for you. 5 days training program will be there, because it is not that much easy that whenever litigation comes to you, आपण त्याच्यामध्ये पडू, दोघांना समजावून सांगू, काहीतरी मार्ग काढू, कोर्टाकडे पाठवू. That's not the case. It is a skillful job. There are scientific methods how to mediate the parties, and this training requires to be given to the persons, or rather the advocates, who are willing to join this mediation campaign. And here, all these 3 senior trainers will guide you, although you might feel that 8 hours per day will quite be a rigorous job. But once you get involved in this, and once you are out after finishing this training program, you will get a confidence. Not only confidence, but the case in which you will be called upon to act as a mediator, you will also get fees, of which the advocates are rather everyday concerned. In addition to that, job satisfaction is a very nice thing to happen with you, because you are going to assist the court by giving a relief to a parties who are fighting with each other for number of years, and that satisfaction cannot be counted in receipt of monies. Dear friends, after finishing this program, next stage, because now Lordship, there are only 25 advocates who have joined this program for Pune region. We have restricted that figure by discussion with Malsa people. After this, we are going step by step, we will be going to district level, where I hope that the trainers who are trained today for 5 days will be will have such a training that in next stage, that means when we go to district level, these advocates who are now the trainees will act as a trainer in further training program. And in this way, let us take this campaign of mediation to the common man. And I hope that this initiative on the part of Malsa as well as the Bar Council of Maharashtra and Goa will help the litigants all over Maharashtra and Goa to gain their disputes settled at the earliest as far as possible. Thank you all.
Thank you, Honorable Chairman Shri Milind Thobde Sahib. On behalf of the Pune Bar Association, there would be felicitation to the chief guest and the guest of honors. I request the President of the Pune Bar Association to felicitate the chief guest, Her Ladyship Justice Revati Mohite Dere. I now request the Vice President of the Pune Bar, Shri Lakshman Yere, to felicitate the guest of honor, Honorable Justice Madhav Jamdar. I now request Advocate Amol Chitole to felicitate the other guest of honor, Honorable Justice Dr. I now request Advocate Surekha Bhosle to felicitate Honorable Principal District Judge, Shri Chandak Sahib. Ladies and gentlemen, we are all eager to hear the speech of the Chief Guest, Her Ladyship Justice Revati Mohite Dere. I would like to invite Her Ladyship to give her inaugural address.
My esteemed colleagues, Justice Jamdar, Justice Doctor, the Principal District Judge of Pune, Mr. Chandak, Mr. Thobde, Chairman of the Bar Council of Maharashtra and Goa, Mr. Ghatge, Mr. Nimbalkar, Mr. Umap, Mr. Pathan, Mr. Varunjikar, all members of the Bar Council of Maharashtra and Goa, President of the Pune Bar Association, members of the Pune Bar Association, Mr. Yadav, Secretary Malsa, judges of the Pune District Court, all the resource persons, Mr. Popat, Mr. Nangaonkar, Mr. Jadav, and all the participants who are taking part in this camp, which is going to be held for 5 days, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of my colleagues and myself, I would like to thank the Bar Council of Maharashtra and Goa and the Maharashtra State Legal Services Authority for inviting us here today to inaugurate the mediation training camp organized for the advocates. Thank you. It is a great initiative taken by the Bar Council with Malsa. And as Mr. Thobde said, Bar Council of Maharashtra and Goa has always been in the forefront and has taken various initiatives for the first time in the state of Maharashtra. This is another feather in their cap, and we hope that and we are confident that they will continue to do the same for time to come. Mediation is a tool of dispensation of justice through dispute resolution. ADR became known in the US in late 1970s. It has been heralded as one of the most far-reaching procedural legal reform of the time. It was fostered by the crisis in judicial administration caused by the explosion in litigation and by the increasing burden of legal costs. In 1978, former US Chief Justice Warren Burger observed, and I quote, "Today American courts are hopelessly unequipped to handle the tremendous workload imposed on them by the growing population and the modern technology." 4 years later, in the annual report on the judiciary, Chief Justice Burger said, "We must now use ingenuity, resourcefulness that have long characterized the American business and legal community to shape a new tool. We need to consider moving cases from the adversary system to administrative processes or to mediation, conciliation, and arbitration." He said, "The adversary process is expensive, time-consuming, and leaves a trail of stress and frustration." In 1984, Chief Justice Burger, while addressing the American Bar Association, lamented that the entire legal profession had become so mesmerized with the stimulation of the courtroom that we started forgetting that we ought to be healers of conflict. Justice Burger at that time, around more than 30 decades ago, foresaw greater use of ADR methods as a relief to the burden on conventional litigation. In India, mediation is a very ancient tool, and today, mediation is one such important tool of dispensation of justice through the ADR. Mediation can be defined as negotiation carried out with the assistance of a neutral third party. Advantages of mediation can hardly be understated. Mediation encourages and facilitates an exchange of information in a non-adversarial setting. Mediation helps to provide new information to parties which could assist in the resolution of their differences. Mediation helps parties to understand each other's views and differences. Mediation gives parties an opportunity to ensure that their concerns are understood and their counterparts by their counterparts in their dispute. Mediation deals with differences in perception and interest between the between the disputants. It encourages flexibility, provides opportunities for creative solution, not haunted by the remedies that the law can provide. Mediation shifts the focus from the past to the future. Apart from the advantages that I just mentioned, at the macro level, the benefits are known to one and all, which is it reduces legal costs, time spent on litigation, confidentiality is maintained in business relationship and family relationships. It provides a permanent and holistic resolution of the dispute in a spirit of give and take. When I say permanent, it means there are no appeals, no revisions, no SLPs, nothing. There is a finality to the dispute which is amicably settled. And yes, it is expeditious. Mediation is indeed an extremely important tool for resolving disputes amicably by arriving at an agreement. It is said that a lien agreement is better than a fact judgment. Our legal system is costly and in matrimonial disputes painful and in general long drawn. As healers of human conflicts, it is our obligation to provide mechanisms that can produce an acceptable result in the shortest possible time with the shortest possible expense and the minimum of stress on the participants. Isn't this justice, after all, that we talk about? As a judge, we deal with a lot of matrimonial cases. And yes, let me tell all of you that we take that extra step where we feel that a matrimonial dispute can be settled. With our intervention, we do take that extra step. We take the matter in the chambers with the parties, and let me tell you, there is no greater satisfaction in seeing the parties reconcile or amicably, either by coming together or by sort of going for mutual consent divorce, then writing a judgment. Because there is, in a matrimonial litigation, there is no win for anybody. Both are the losers. In fact, in India, the concept of mediation is ancient and deep-rooted. In olden days, disputes would be resolved by the elderly members of the family, respected members of this community, society, and even the panchayat at the panchayat level. Every word what came or what fell from these members was so well respected, and parties would amicably settle their dispute. With globalization, liberalization, with advanced technology, economic growth, references to such people is dwindling. Nevertheless, in small towns, in small villages, in small places, the elderly people are looked upon for advice, and there are settlements that do take place. However, as I said, with globalization and liberalization, with technology, we feel the need for professionally trained mediators. Mediation process, as you all know, requires a lot of time, patience, effort on the part of mediators. And that is the key to a success to any mediation. It is important to make parties understand the pros and cons of litigation, that it is completely confidential in the sense even if the mediation fails, the mediation report is not going to have anything with respect to the merits of the case. Particularly in matrimonial disputes, it is important to make parties understand that time is precious, particularly irrespective of the age of the parties. If they are young, they have a long way ahead. We all know how long litigation takes. From here, if it fails in the family court, then there's the High Court, Supreme Court, applications. It's a never-ending process. One side wins, the other side files an appeal, and so on. So by the time this whole thing ends, people have lost their precious years of their youth, and that is what needs to be told to parties in matrimonial litigation. In fact, I recollect when I was sitting with Justice Oak when we were dealing with matrimonial litigation. One of the cases that came before us, where for 20 years the parties were litigating and fighting. The battle had become so bitter. The children were grown up, but the lady refused to reconcile because she said, now my whole life I'm just going to see that, that I teach my husband a lesson. That's when Justice Oak came up with this idea that we need to set up a pre-litigation center where we can refer parties so that if some amicable settlement can happen right at the beginning, this bitterness will not be there. And pursuant thereto, with a lot of meetings with all stakeholders, whether it's whether psychologists, whether from the Bombay University and Tata Institute, we started this project called the Pre-Litigation Center. We started initially in Mumbai, and Sukoon, which is the Post-Litigation Center, also in Mumbai and under the aegis of Malsa. We replicated this thereafter in Pune, in Nasik, Aurangabad, Nagpur. Recently, the last one we opened in Amravati. And I must tell you that the success has been great. What we felt is that one matrimonial litigation can give rise to 4 or 5 cases. It can give rise to a 498A case. It can give rise to a DV case. It can give rise to a family court case, and of course, the applications that go with it. We felt that even if we are able to settle one matter, we will put an end to litigation, about 4 litigations which take place simultaneously with this one case that is initiated by the wife. So, and I have seen, I have the statistics here, and we have been, it is extremely heartening to see how much effort these counselors are taking. These are all trained counselors, both at the pre-litigation and post-litigation center. In fact, of course, as I said, confidentiality is tremendous. Nobody would know no report is called for. And the most important is that it is free of charge. We don't charge the parties at all. It is completely free. Malsa has been paying the counselors. So this is something which all advocates should encourage. If it is prior to marriage, then pre-litigation, post-litigation, then post-litigation center. It is important to make parties understand that in the middle of every difficulty lies opportunity, as said by Albert Einstein, and that mediation is that opportunity which comes up with a win-win solution for the parties. In fact, like commercial disputes are initially referred before it goes to the court, I feel that even there has to be an amendment so that matrimonial litigation is referred prior to it going to the court in the form of a pre-litigation, so that the bitterness, the nature of allegations that are made by one party against the other, washing dirty linen in public, all that to a great extent can be eliminated. It should be made mandatory in matrimonial litigations to see that it is that parties first go for pre-litigation prior to before approaching the court. This will definitely have an impact even on reducing the number of cases and helping parties to amicably settle their dispute. In fact, in such cases, courts ought not to be the first destination for dispute settlement. They ought to be places where disagreements conclude once alternative dispute resolution techniques like mediation have been exhausted and tried. Thus, it would be fair to state that mediation is absolutely crucial in the justice delivery system in India, since it not only ends litigation pending before the courts, but it also has a ripple effect of capitulating the animosity between the parties, making them valuable members of the society. As Abraham Lincoln said, and I quote, "Discourage litigation. Persuade your clients to compromise whenever you can. Point out to them the nominal winner is often a real loser in fees, expenses, and waste of time. As a peacemaker, the lawyer has a superior opportunity of being a good person," unquote. As trained mediators, you will get this opportunity of being peacemakers, and I'm sure you will make the most out of it. For getting this opportunity, I acknowledge the efforts taken by the Bar Council of Maharashtra and Goa with Malsa, and hope that and confident that they will continue with these activities even beyond these occasions. In conclusion, I would like to highlight the essence of mediation by citing a few sentences from the autobiography of Mahatma Gandhi. And I quote, "My joy was boundless. I had learnt the true practice of law. I had learned to find out the better side of human nature and to enter men's hearts. I realized the true function of a lawyer was to right parties riven asunder, which means torn apart. The lesson was indelibly burnt into me that a larger part of my time during the 20 years of my practice as a lawyer was occupied in bringing about compromises of hundreds of cases. I lost nothing thereby, not even money, certainly not my soul." And I think this is a very nicely stated what is the essence of mediation. As I said earlier, the satisfaction is tremendous when you're able to assist parties come and resolve their dispute. All of you are going to undergo a training camp of 5 days, and you are extremely fortunate to be here for this training camp. I'm also confident that this is going to benefit you, and you will come out as trained mediators and will help and assist all those who require mediation. You are going to be trained by the very best in this field. For this, I wish you all the best, and thank you so much for inviting me today. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Ladyship, for a very thought-provoking address. All the advocates will definitely adhere to your advice henceforth. We are all having experience that Her Ladyship, when sitting in the Bombay High Court presiding over the writ jurisdiction, or even earlier when deciding anticipatory bail matters, if there are any matters arising out of matrimonial dispute or family dispute, her ladyship always refers it to mediation. In fact, in two of my matters recently, when there was family dispute, her ladyship was kind enough to send the matter for mediation before judges of the retired judges of the Bombay High Court. I now request Honorable Vice Chairman of the Bar Council, Shri Vivekanand Ghatge, to propose the vote of thanks.
सर्वांना नमस्कार. आजच्या कार्यक्रमाच्या मुख्य अतिथी माननीय आदरणीय मोहिते डेरे, आजच्या कार्यक्रमाचे विशेष अतिथी माननीय जामदार सर, माननीय एस डॉक्टर सर, बार काउन्सिल ऑफ महाराष्ट्र आणि गोवाचे चेअरमन मिलिंद थोबडे जी, पुणे रिजनचे किंवा पुण्याचे बार काउन्सिलचे मेंबर्स निंबाळकर सर, पठाण सर, उमाप सर, मुंबईहून आलेले डॉक्टर उदय वारुंजीकर सर, पुणे जिल्हा व सत्र न्यायालयाचे प्रमुख न्यायाधीश माननीय चांडक साहेब, पुणे बार असोसिएशनचे अध्यक्ष माननीय पांडुरंग थोरवेजी, या कार्यक्रमासाठी गेले 15 दिवस खूप कष्ट केले ते नालसाचे डेप्युटी रजिस्टर माननीय अजित यादवजी, डेप्युटी सेक्रेटरी तोडकर साहेब, ट्रेनर म्हणून ज्यांनी 5 दिवस आपल्यासाठी वेळ काढला ते प्रथमेश पोपटजी, माननीय महेश जाधवजी, अभिजित नांदगावकरजी, तसेच पुणे तालुक्यातील लोकल बार असोसिएशनचे पदाधिकारी, तसंच सांगली, सातारा, सोलापूर, पुणे आणि कोल्हापूर या ठिकाणाहून अत्यंत उत्साहानं या ट्रेनिंगसाठी हजर राहिलेले सर्व वकील बंधू आणि भगिनी, तसेच हा कार्यक्रम बार काउन्सिलनं जाहीर केल्यानंतर पहिल्या 2-3 दिवसामध्येच सगळ्यात जास्त प्रतिसाद दाखवला अशा महिला वकील, ज्या 200 किलोमीटर 300 किलोमीटर प्रवास करून यायला उत्सुक आहेत, त्या सर्व भगिनी, तसंच या कार्यक्रमाच्या नियोजनासाठी काल रात्रीपासून या चांडक साहेबांच्या सूचनेप्रमाणे जो स्टाफ इथं काम करत राहिला तो सर्व स्टाफ, छायाचित्रकार आणि सन्मान्य वकील बंधू आणि भगिनींनो, नालसा आणि बार काउन्सिल ऑफ महाराष्ट्र आणि गोवा संयुक्तपणे जे प्रयत्न करू लागलेले आहेत, या प्रयत्नामध्ये जेव्हा आपण सर्वजण उत्सुक झाला, स्वतः पैसे खर्च करून ट्रेनिंगसाठी हजर राहिले वकील, ही एक खरोखर आश्चर्याची बाब आहे. त्यामुळे मी आपल्या सर्वांचं त्याबद्दल आभार मानतो. आपला असा उत्साह जर राहिला तर भविष्यामध्ये बार काउन्सिलनं, चेअरमन साहेबांनी सांगितलं त्याप्रमाणे बार काउन्सिलनं ही जबाबदारी घेतली, ही जबाबदारी बार काउन्सिल पार पाडेल अशी मी आपल्याला हमी देतो. आणि आपल्या सर्वांचा बार काउन्सिलमार्फत मी आभारी राहीन. या कार्यक्रमानंतर ज्या ट्रेनिंगसाठी आलेल्या वकील बंधू आणि भगिनींनी याच हॉलमध्ये थांबायचं आहे. आदरणीय महेश जाधवजी हे आपल्याला इंट्रोडक्शन करून ह्या ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्रामची सुरुवात करतील. पुन्हा एकदा आपण सुट्टीच्या कुठलीही तमा न बाळगता एका कॉलवर आला त्याबद्दल बार काउन्सिल ऑफ महाराष्ट्र आणि गोवा, नालसा, मेन मेडिएशन सेंटर, हायकोर्ट यांच्या सर्वांच्याकडून मी पुन्हा एकदा आपले आभार मानतो आणि प्रस्तुत कार्यक्रम संपला असं जाहीर करतो. थँक्यू.
जे 25 पार्टिसिपंट्स आहेत त्यांनी वरती एक फोटोसाठी यावं आणि त्याच्यानंतर ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम सुरू होईल.
हॅलो